Thank you very much. Elizabeth, thank you so much for this opportunity. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Let's do that again. My name is Melissa McKenzie. I've worked in my passion for over 10 years, working in long-term care, doing activities for seniors. Is anybody familiar with the movie Patch Adams?
Yeah.
That was kind of my job.
Cool.
I got to know the residents, and I got to provide what works for you, what you love to do. I based my documentation on 5 categories, and that was social, intellectual, emotional, physical, and well-being or spiritual. I loved my work. I learned from working in long-term care of the truth of that, quite frankly, sometimes life is not fair. Do we agree with that?
Yeah.
Do we also agree with, you know what, sometimes life is amazing? Yeah? Well, working in long-term care after 10 years, next thing you know, I'm sitting in a wheelchair in front of this man wearing a white lab coat with a stethoscope around his neck. And he said to me, "Melissa, you won the lottery of brain tumors." Thanks. You can laugh, it's okay. He actually did say that, but he was right. Because, I don't know if you know this or not, but there are over 100 different types of brain tumors. I had a brain tumor that was very rare, only 2% of all brain tumors.
Well
Thank you. Thank you. Also, I had a stroke during surgery, so the left side of my body. And the other thing that we did not know at that time, it was a couple of years later, was the fact that the brain tumor had broken off and went all the way down my spine to my tailbone. I bet you haven't heard of that before, because that happened to 7 other people in the world. I know. If I am told one more time that I'm special, that's enough. Stop laughing.
I think you're special.
So, the way that I handled this is, perhaps you can repeat after me. So I'm going to say, "Wow!" And you're in 3 seconds, you're going to say, "Wow." Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Wow!
I know! So the way that I coped with what had happened, if you think about it, working in long-term care, knowing these facts, the way that I handled this is by A-H-H. A, starting with A, is authentic. So I was my authentic self. And yes, this is my authentic self. So one thing that I did, instantly when we think of brain tumors, we think that obviously it's in your brain, your control center, so maybe they're kind of out of it a little bit. Because I was wheelchair bound, I sat in my wheelchair and I had my sweater on backwards. And people looked at me like I was crazy. Has anybody ever, I don't know, overheated from sitting in a chair?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Keep all my money, my cell phone, all my stuff in here.
Perfect.
Perfect. And I didn't care what people thought. You know, it's funny because it wasn't the brain tumor that was the worst part. It was actually the people. because people would look at me like I'm crazy, and I know kind of now too. And I'm over that. I laugh because we laugh about it, right? But hello, how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm still here. I learned how to walk again, as you can see.
Yeah.
Dancing, not so much. I'm trying on that. So authenticity. Another thing too is, not to show off, but I am, is that my mom taught me how to quilt, and I just finished this last week, and it's a mustache purse. You know what? I've never fit in, even like before the brain tumor, like I never fit in, and I was insecure, and all of that. Next thing you know, I have this power that, I do stick out, and that's okay. 5 minutes, oh my gosh, I'm just getting started. That's okay. So hoodie, the mustache purse I talked about. So with the H is one thing is right. So humor, humor. Humor is huge, and we can all agree on this, right? Yeah. Absolutely, it's huge. That's my digestible enzyme. That's my Tums for a tummy ache kind of thing. So when it comes to using humor, do we all know about that whole, kids these days always on their phone. Back in my day, we drank from the garden hose and I'm totally fine. Well, my mom didn't really like the fact that I joked about I'm totally fine. Right, Mom? Because of this. Another thing that I did when it came to humor was, I personally love Halloween. Does anybody here still make their Halloween costumes for their kids or grandkids? Anybody? Whatever. So I was brought up to make your own. So it was actually just a couple of years ago. I put stuffing in here. So I'm sorry to say this. I was a brain fart. I got pillow stuffing here, sprayed it green, and then the other H, which is very close to my heart, so we talked about authenticity, we talked about humor. The other thing is helping people. My heart. So we're going back to long-term care, right? Is helping people. That's what fills my soul. That's what I absolutely love to do. So I started something called Hats for Hope, where I had people make hats, handmade hats, and donate them in. And in 2 years, I had collected 1,500 hats. Wow. I attended the Brain Tumour Foundation of Canada, their conference. I can't remember you call it, conference or whatever. So I ran for 2 years, and I gave them out for free. You know, these days, what's in it for you? Is it $35.99? 2 payments of. No, I don't want your email. Just take it. What a feeling! What an incredible feeling! I gave myself goosebumps. That was amazing. The other way that I helped other people is I wrote a book called Day by Day. Is anybody familiar with 2 minutes? Is anybody familiar with Doug and the Slugs?
Yes. Making it
Day
work.
by day, I'm feeling stronger. Day by day, I'm lasting. So Simon Kendall actually wrote the foreword to my book. Lovely person, lovely band. So that was amazing. Fundraising was huge, and I have 5 minutes or 2 minutes. So because I couldn't play guitar anymore, because I had to switch to being left-handed instead of right-handed, I raffled off my guitar 3 times. Every time I raffled it off, got a couple $100 or a lot of money back, hundreds and hundreds of dollars back. The person would donate it back to me. Isn't that so selfish? It was like having an X in the corner, building up dust. I'm just walking by, because I can't play it anymore, right? It was amazing. In closing, what I'm doing now is that I'm collecting and sharing tips for fellow brain tumor lovelies on my website, which I know you will share. It's inspiringtoaspire.com, and I'm sharing practical tips, and the way that I'm doing that is I'm using the categories from back when I worked in long-term care. Nice. So physical, emotional, social. I find that support groups these days, especially, social media stuff, it's a bit of a, I call it like a cesspool. It's okay. Everybody's opinion is valid. But the thing is, if a medication works for you, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you, right? So I wanted to have factual evidence. These are the facts, and that way I can, thank you, and edit tips to make sure. So in closing, sometimes life can definitely be unfair. We all know this. But life can also be amazing.